Aloha and welcome to the Secret Art of Huna podcast, where I'll be sharing how to use Huna, the carefully guarded spiritual, energetic and healing practices of the ancient Hawaiians, to help you transform those bits of your life that aren't working, to help you find your purpose, or maybe just to help you dump emotional baggage. I'm Dr. Jane Lewis, and 20 years ago I was burnt out, depressed, unfulfilled, disappointed, directionless and deeply, deeply miserable. Huna enabled me to change all that, and so I now share it with whoever wants to experience a more joyful, fulfilling life. Aloha and welcome to the Secret Art of Huna. And today I'm talking about the senses and about disconnection. So I was talking to somebody on the phone today, and we were talking about spiritual evolution and spiritual change and spiritual progress. And I suddenly, for no reason whatsoever, just got this whiff of frankincense. Now, frankincense has a lot of spiritual connection. If you go into churches, for example, and into Indian temples, you'll often smell frankincense. It's got a strong spiritual draw to it, spiritual pull. And it got me thinking about the senses. Now, I hallucinated that frankincense. We were talking about spirituality and it just came in. But then I went out to do a little bit of pruning in my garden. I don't have a very big garden, but it's big enough for some lavender bushes and some herbs and some roses. I do like my roses. So I went out to do some late pruning of the lavender. I should have done it a couple of weeks ago, but I was in Hawaii, hadn't had the chance. And I wanted to get it just back down to size, and it was taking over some other plants, so putting it back. Behind one of the lavender bushes, there is an oregano plant. Now, oregano is an absolute thug. It just grows, and it grows everywhere, and given half a chance, it's in other pots and it's in other places. So I also pruned the oregano. But the oregano, and this is some of the results of my pruning here. It's not the whole plant by any means. But oregano may be a thug, but it's got this lovely, lovely smell. And it got me thinking also about the senses. So I thought, let's talk about the senses and about disconnection and about how developing your senses, your 5 physical senses, can help develop your unseen senses. Because I know that's something that a lot of people are interested in. Let's start with the sense of smell. Years ago, I trained as an aromatherapist. I wanted some back pocket skills because I thought I was going to go around the world, and I wanted to go for a year. That was the intention. I'd go for a year, and I'd be able to do massage and aromatherapy and earn some money, earn my way around. Didn't work out like that, but I ended up doing my aromatherapy, my massage training, and then my aromatherapy training, and then Indian head massage and stress management and all sorts of other things, craniosacral therapy. But it really started with the massage and with the aromatherapy. And one of the things that you discover when you train in aromatherapy is that the olfactory nerve, that's the sense of smell nerve, is a very, very short nerve. Runs from sort of behind the back of your nose into your brain. And it's a very short pathway. So it moves very quickly. That you smell and your brain records it very quickly. Powerful trigger for memory. When I used to live in Greece, there was a garden that I used to walk past on an island. I used to go there every Saturday in the afternoon when everything was calm and at siesta. And I'd go there, and there was this garden. And this garden was full of jasmine and honeysuckle. Honeysuckle first, and then a couple of weeks later, the honeysuckle would die back and the jasmine would come into play. And I would walk past that in the honeysuckle time, and it would take me straight back to England, to my mum's garden, actually, this garden in the house where I now live, to my mum's garden, because that sense of smell was so immediate, and it just triggered the memory from mum's garden of a summer evening, the honeysuckle that she'd taken as a cutting from one of the local railway stations, and she'd managed to make grow. So smell, very, very powerful connection to memory. And smell, it's also, if you don't like the smell of something, we tend to run away from it. It's a great safety mechanism. It's a way of, rats are really good at this. They use their sense of smell to tell them what's healthy and what's not. So the sense of smell is powerful. It brings in memory. And the sense of smell, for me at least, as along with the sense of taste, is so connected to the world of plants, the world of vegetables, the world of herbs, the world of walking up to a rose and smelling the rose. It really connects us to the earth. I know walking on the earth connects you to the earth, but for me, there's something about the sense of smell and the sense of taste, but particularly the sense of smell, that really, really connects you to the earth. Smell goes very much along with taste. It's quite common if somebody loses their sense of smell for them to lose their sense of taste as well, and vice versa. My grandfather had lost his sense of smell. It enabled him to work as a clerk in an abattoir, but there you are. And with it, he'd lost much of his sense of taste. But the luxury of smell, how often do you really sit there and inhale something, really smell it, really allow that sense of smell to just rush around your nose and the back of your throat. Same with taste. How often do you put something into your mouth? It might be a piece of chocolate. It might be something that's been cooked in a lovely sauce. It might be a piece of fruit that's luscious and ripe and gorgeous. How often do you put something into your mouth and really, really taste it? Roll it around your mouth, really feel it and sense it and just enjoy the glorious juiciness of it. Sense of touch. When I was learning the massage, I was in the process of, probably in the depths of my clinical depression, actually. And one of the things about massage is that it is great because you are touched on the skin, assuming that you're doing any kind of massage that takes the clothes off. Skin touch is something that is so important for us. It's important for us right from the moment we're babies. Now, babies, they get hugged and they get touched and they get their cheeks pinched and they get their feet massaged, and people love touching babies. And if we're in a loving relationship, hopefully you're getting touch as well. But for a lot of us along the way, we have periods in our life when we're not being touched. We're not in a relationship. We're not in a situation where another person is going to stroke our skin. At the massage school, I was receiving massage, I was giving massage, and I was often a massage demonstration subject. So I was receiving a lot of touch regularly. Wasn't in a relationship, but I was receiving a lot of touch. And with hindsight, although I didn't realize at the time, it was an incredibly supportive thing for me in my depression. So if you are experiencing depression and you're not in a relationship, then go and get yourself some massages. It's not just what it does for the muscles, but actually what that physical touch does for us. So the sense of touch. And there's something really special, the feeling of fabrics, but there's something really special about the feeling of a leaf of a rose. It can be like velvet. It's extraordinary. Amazing what these plants can do for us. Sense of hearing. How often do you really tune in to what's going on around? How often do you have the chance to sit in a silent house? And very few houses are silent. They've all got their creaks and their groans and the wind going through some little ventilator shaft or the floorboards or the heating or whatever. It's very rare that a house is totally silent. But that time when the house is largely silent and you can really just tune in to what's going on around you. How often do you do that? Or is there constantly noise around you? Even in nature, very hard to find real silence in nature, because if you go to a wood or a forest, there's birds. Assuming it's not a dead forest, there's birds, there's a wind in the trees, and so on and so forth. So we very rarely experience true silence. But equally, how often do you tune into what's going on underneath? What are the little sounds that you're not hearing? A way of developing our connection with the house, with the forest, with nature. Many of us rely a lot on our visual senses. How often do you allow yourself to go into visual expanded awareness, so that you can really experience what's going on in the periphery? How often do you sit in a room and notice the different shades of green or blue or brown or whatever? How often do you do that? Because we tend not to. The world is so fast and furious that we don't take the time to really enjoy the experience that our senses can bring us. When we do start to really tune into our senses, it can really help as well with that sense of disconnection. I have clients who come to me because they feel disconnected. And one of the things that I have them do is to connect with their senses into the world around them, consciously using all 5 senses, or actually each sense one by one, but consciously tuning in to the world around. Because we are connected to the earth. We are connected to the environment around us. But so often we lose that connection. And it's not just about, am I connected with, I feel disconnected because my partner left me, or I feel lonely, or I don't know, life doesn't seem to work anymore. Start with the basics. Start with the easy stuff. Start by reconnecting with your senses to what's going on around you, particularly nature, but not exclusively nature. So we can use our senses as a way of dealing with disconnection. And there's another level as well. So when we really tune into our senses, it activates, when I work for One of Many, we talk about the lover archetype. Now, the lover archetype isn't just about sex. The lover archetype is about enjoying life. It's about enjoying the juiciness of life, the essence of life, really tuning into the essence of life. And the best way to do that is through your senses, through touch, through smell, through taste and hearing, and really celebrating and enjoying whatever it is that you're experiencing through your senses. Another archetype that we work with is the sorceress, your connection with source. Now, the sorceress is intuitive. It's the intuitive side. It's that ability to know at a very deep knowing level, the ability to connect and feel connected. Sorceress is where you start to develop your psychic abilities, telepathic abilities, your abilities to see beyond the seen, see the unseen, hear the unheard. When you actively use your senses, when you actively start to tune into the subtler aspects of your senses, then you start to activate your ability to see the unseen, hear the unheard, smell, have those odd smell phenomenons, like me sitting here talking about spirituality and suddenly smelling frankincense. So working with your senses is important for a lot of reasons. Meantime, I've been playing with my little bit of oregano, and I've rolled it into a ball. So my hands absolutely reek of oregano, and I'm going to dry all this lot, and I'll have a great stash of oregano for cooking over the winter. Hope this has been interesting, maybe fun, maybe instructive, and I'll talk to you very soon. If you want to get in touch, do. All these videos, you can either catch them as you may be on the Facebook page, Secret Art of Huna. I also have a YouTube channel, Secret Art of Huna, and the videos do get posted on there. So if Facebook's not your thing, you can subscribe to the channel and get them on the channel. And if you want to chat at any time about anything, then either Facebook or secretartofhuna.com/diary, book a call and let's have a conversation. Take care now.
I hope you've enjoyed today's podcast. If you want to bring about rapid transformation in your life, check out secretartofhuna.com, where you can also download a free meditation to help you with self-forgiveness. You can also look out for Secret Art of Huna on social media such as Facebook and LinkedIn. I look forward to talking to you again very soon.